If you asked me my thoughts on Audi e-Tron about 30 minutes ago, you might have heard words like corporate, boring, robotic, but actually I'm now finding that that was completely wrong. The Audi Q8 e-Tron is not boring, it's mature and an electric car for adults. Let's talk about the exterior of the Q8 e-Tron. If you know me, you know the first thing I want to take a look at on an electric car is the frunk. I really like frunks, so let's see if this has one. It does in fact have a frunk. It's about 2 cubic feet, not very big, just big enough for some charging cables, but you know what? I'll take it, it's better than nothing. In addition to the frunk, we have this updated grille design and these wider Audi rings. Audi says this is kind of part of their new brand identity, so keep an eye out for these applying to more Audis in the future. We also have these great digital matrix headlights. They'll play a little video for you when you park the car. If you park in front of a wall, it'll flash like the Audi lights up on the wall and do a cool little dance. I really like that touch. At the side of the Q8 e-Tron, there's a lot going on here. All Q8 e-Trons are going to have air suspension, and that's gonna have adjustable dampening, so you're gonna have a nice, comfortable ride, but you can also tune up the sportiness a little bit. We do have an automated power outlet here, so that when we wanna charge up our car, we don't have to physically open the charge door. You can get the charge port on both sides of the vehicle, so you don't have to wrangle that cord to get to the other side. That is a very nice feature. In addition, we do have another branding element here. We now have the model designation on the B pillar. This is again part of that new Audi corporate image, so you're going to see this rolling out on more Audis in the future. Here we can get wheels ranging anywhere from 19 to 22 inches. One kind of neat part of the air suspension is that at high speeds, the vehicle will actually automatically lower itself. That's going to increase aerodynamic efficiency and get you a little bit more range. Now, speaking of range, there's the Q850 e-Tron. That's going to have an 89 kilowatt hour battery pack. Then there's the 55, which is going to have a 106 kilowatt hour battery pack. That pack is going to be maxing out at around 285 miles of range. This vehicle right here has been driven hard, so it's at about 75% charge, and it says it has about 133 miles of range left, but that's because at these press days, people drive these cars pretty tough. Not me though, I drive responsibly. So let's keep talking about the battery pack, because what's really impressive is the charging. Either pack, the big one or the small one, is going to take 31 minutes to do 10 to 80% with DC fast charging. Go to a level 2 charger like the one in your house. It's going to take about 9 hours to charge the smaller pack, about 11 hours to charge the larger one, so you can do it overnight. Now let's talk power. On the e-Tron, you can either get one motor at the front and one motor at the rear, or one motor at the front and 2 motors on the rear. This is the base model, so it just has that one motor front, one motor rear configuration, but there are 3 total power levels. At this base level, we have about 664 Newton meters of torque and about 250 kilowatts of power. It's not face gripping by any means, but it's certainly enough. In the rear of the Q8, we are going to find 630 liters of space. Go to the Sportback model, you're going to find about 590, so you don't lose all that much storage space going from the SUV to the Sportback. We do have a 40-20-40 split, so that way you can fit skis all the way through. Love to see that feature. And Audi is one of the few brands with their electric SUV still offering a spare tire. Let's talk interior. There is a lot going on here. As soon as I got in the car, the first thing I noticed was the amount of screens. You have all these gigantic screens around you, and it's kind of overwhelming at first. Now, I'm sure over time you get to know what these screens do, so hopefully we'll have a longer term review for you guys where we will go through a full infotainment tour. But the screens do have haptic feedback, so it'll kind of buzz as you touch them. Now, if you're feeling a little cool, if those screens are too cool for you, the Audi Q8 can heat you up using its heat pump. So it will heat up the cabin by using its electric motors, which remember are spinning at about 13,000 rotations per minute on average. And it's going to take the heat from those motors and pump it into the car so it can heat up the vehicle without losing a lot of range. That's a fairly common feature on high-end vehicles, but it's still just really cool technology. In terms of overall build quality, it's what we'd expect from Audi. We have this nice little gray wood up here. This is a little tacky. I would like to see this black plastic right here become maybe, I don't know, some sort of wood element or carbon fiber element or whatever, metal, whatever. Just something a bit more premium than plastic since it's right in your sight line. But other than that, the leathers feel very premium and everything feels well put together. Now, because this is such a large vehicle and only has 2 rows, there is plenty of legroom. We do have a screen right here for our heated and cooled rear seats. We can pull down this center cubby right here. What the heck? Ow. This car hurt me. Ah, there we go. That was really hard to pull out. It's normally not that hard to pull out. That's weird. We can open up a little storage cubby right here. And of course, we have our cup holders, which unfurl very Okay, they don't refurl unless you're very careful with them. So that is the rear of the Audi Q8 e-Tron. Very nice space for your passengers, weird center storage cubby thing. Let's go for a drive in the Audi Q8 e-Tron. I'm gonna put it into drive, which I think I've done. It's a little confusing. When you get in this car, you are just overwhelmed by screens and tech. But let's talk about the driving dynamics a little bit. Now, I chose my words very carefully. This is a mature car. It's not a boring one. I say mature because, well, it's not out there, right? It looks normal. It drives normal. It's not gonna hurt your passengers from acceleration. But it's mature, not boring, because it could still be a little bit of fun. So here's the thing, right? We only have the 2 motors here, so it's not a crazy amount of power, but you can easily forget that this is a fairly large, very heavy 2-row SUV as I'm going around some of these turns here. It's just a lot of fun to kind of throw this in. And you know, we're not going terribly fast, but it just is kind of happy doing its thing. And it's fun. It's fun to just go around, and it's not slow car fast, right? Because this car isn't slow. It just knows itself really well, and it knows what it's supposed to do. I'm sure if I pushed it 30, 40 miles an hour over the speed limit, this thing would be chirping a little bit, and maybe the rear would get a little antsy around some of these turns. But you know what? Just going for a cruise, a spirited cruise, just is a happy drive, and some great weather today. There's the Nissan Ariya flying down the road. So why don't we give it a little power here? And you know what? The acceleration, it's there, but it's not insane. And just accelerating through a corner, you know you're not going to crash. I think that's what it is. I think you know that you're safe. You know that Audi's safety systems are taking care of you. You know that even if you're not the best driver, you can take some of these turns a little quicker than you would in any other car, because this car can make up for that skill differential. I really like it. And now we're gonna pull over and talk to Jake from Out Motorsports. Jake from Out Motorsports, thoughts on the Audi Q8?
Haven't driven it yet, I'll tell you later.
All right, back on the road in the Audi Q8. As I was saying, before I got distracted by Jake from Out Motorsports, it's just a safe feeling car. You just feel like you're, you know, the Allstate hands? That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm in good hands. The Audi is watching me, and it's keeping me safe through these corners. I think people are gonna really like driving this. Yeah, you know, it does a really good job of managing its momentum. So with this much weight, when you turn, you'd expect the car ones to keep moving in the original direction you're moving, right? An object in motion tends to stay in motion in kind of that same direction, but it does a really good job of redistributing that force and getting you into the turn. I really was not expecting this degree of that from this car. I was really just expecting this to be a large 2-row SUV with an electric powertrain swapped into it. But Audi really, their bespoke kind of platform, it really shows for this. I really like that. So overall, Audi Q8, first thoughts, this is a really neat car. And I hope I get to drive it again soon, because it just makes you feel like a good driver. It's a mature car. No one's gonna make fun of you for having it. Yeah, and it's got all sorts of cool tech. It can be a little overwhelming, that is for sure. It's got a lot of tech. And we'll have to do a full deep dive into that. But thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.